9 points for Trevor, but we book the guys.
What are we doing?
We got to book them.
What are we doing?
Live from New York, it's first things first today. Should Chiefs fans be happy with this win? I'm asking legitimately as a Chiefs
So listen,
fan.
let me say this. I was wrong about something. And I don't like to do that. I don't like to be wrong, but I admit when I am. Yeah. I said going into the year that I thought one of the reasons I was so optimistic about the Chiefs was I thought they could have a top 10 defense. No. That's a top 5 defense. That is,
Chris Jones looked
right now, given all of a sudden the fact that the Jets appear to be coming apart at the seams, that is the best defense in the entire AFC.
Okay.
Well, that's all. That's what we're competing with in the whole AFC. That is a defense that has allowed, count it, 2 touchdowns all year against 2 offenses that are excellent. Detroit scored 31 when they didn't play Kansas City. Jacksonville scored 31 when they didn't play Kansas City. The Cowboys have Lawrence Taylor 2.0. The humble old Chiefs only had Chris Jones for 1 game. Right now, this moment, think about where we are.
2 of those teams just played the Jets.
Yeah, exactly. The Chiefs played real opponents, real offensive opponents. Think about where we are right now, where all across America, Brew, the biggest question about the Chiefs is the passing game.
Well,
you know what? I think it's going to be fine. I'm excited for someone to tell me they disagree, and we'll see if Mahomes has tripped down Mahomes Mountain tomorrow. Spoiler alert, probably hasn't, because the passing game's going to be fine. And the Chiefs doing that to Detroit and then that to Jacksonville with this young defense, with Chris Jones saying training camp, schmaining camp, don't need it. Guys, be honest. It's a good time for optimism for the Kansas City Chiefs. Be honest.
I bet it kind of.
Yeah?
No, look, I was going to say the defense has been great.
Great.
Because the Lions, we know, is a very strong offense, held them to 21 points. Jacksonville, we think, I'm starting to wonder, but we think they're a very good offense. Yesterday held them to 3 field goals.
Yeah.
The defense, and Chris Jones, who needs training camp?
Yeah, exactly.
He looked fantastic. So I'll give you that, and obviously Mahomes is going to be fine. But the receivers are a question mark, Nick.
Come on.
Kadarius Toney, a.k.a. Butterfingers.
Well, he had 5 targets, 5 catches.
He fumbled. Fortunately, it just bounced right back up to him. He can't hold on to the rock.
He can hold on to the ball.
He had 3. How many drops in the first game?
First
3.
game was rough.
At least he caught the ball, but he fumbled it for some reason, got it back. And then Justin Watson, fumble.
Yeah.
That's
my
the
point,
receivers, no. Because, look, Mahomes is going to be fine.
Yeah.
True.
Kelsey will be fine. Not a great game yesterday, but, scored a touchdown. He'll be fine. Teams are playing zone defense against them.
Oh, never seen it before.
Well, you haven't
haven't
seen it a lot because, obviously, with Tyreek, the speed kept teams from doing it. Last year, they were fine.
Number 1 in everything.
Juju was there, too. And teams didn't run as much zone against you last year. But here's the thing with zone defense, Nick. The receivers have to find the gap.
Yeah, they will.
Okay? And they have to be in sync.
Yeah.
Kelsey is. That's how they scored that touchdown. He's in sync with Mahomes, knows where to find the gap. Without
so the biggest question for the Chiefs is the passing game.
No. It's not the passing game. It's the receivers.
Yeah, it's all part of this.
You guys maybe these young boys will improve.
Yeah.
But right now, they got to get better.
Did.
Okay.
Because it's not about going 15-2. They're not going to do that.
No.
I won't even bring up the undefeated.
16-1.
No, it's about winning the Super Bowl. So the rest of this season, they got time. They'll get these guys together, I think, and then they'll be all right.
Here's this Kelsey touchdown, which
Kelsey's not.
This is going to be shocking to everybody. Not guarded. Let's just run after Mahomes. Everyone else pay attention to somebody else. Kelsey sneaks in.
Okay.
Sam McDowell, the Kansas City Star. I grew up reading him. I'm from Kansas City.
No, you're not.
Mahomes never took his eyes off him, obviously. He saw it the whole way, and he knew Kelsey saw it the whole way. It's indicative of the connection he's established with Kelsey. This is all good news. And indicative of the kind of thing that's been absent from the chemistry with his wide receivers.
Again,
this is not just me and Brew.
That's great.
No, we're right
This is Sam McDowell, the Kansas City Stars.
So here's what I can promise
Maybe
you,
go get
and
a
we can
receiver.
maybe show the schedule if we have time. The Chiefs are going to be 7-1 heading into Germany when they play Miami. And as I said a moment ago, The reason Chiefs fans should be right now as optimistic as at any moment is if the biggest concern for the team involves throwing the football, then
No.
Brew.
It's not throwing
Okay,
it.
then
It's catching it. It's getting
Brew,
open.
we're saying the same thing. The biggest concern you have is the passing game. The overall passing game. If that's where we're at, then I think a guy who's been called Jordan-esque and the greatest player ever, I think he'll figure it out. And last year, they won the Super Bowl with the same receiving corps. And
Really?
if you think Juju
Where's
is the
Juju?
difference?
Where's McColl?
Where is McColl?
I don't see him.
I don't see him for the Jets either.
Well,
I don't see him. I don't see him.
You could use
I don't
McColl,
see
believe
him.
it.
Patrick Mahomes, 21st in the league in QB rating. Just saying, Mac Jones. Mac Jones 20th. They're just facts.
Okay.
I'm just trying to say a fact and move on to the next thing. It's just a simple fact.
We are a very serious show.
This is books because you always tell us the Prince is so great. So me and Broussard booked the Royal Trumpeters.
Okay.
The guy did nothing. But the money was spent. So I don't know what
I'm glad they're
money
over there.
spent.
I mean, we can be
9 points.
We can be quick here. Listen, the Prince, as many of our all-time heroes, has a kryptonite, and it's the Chiefs.
Oh, I thought I was throwing the ball.
And there's no problem. Oh, really? Last 9 games, who's beaten them? I'm just curious. We can show it to you because the answer is just the Chiefs.
How about last 10 games?
Okay, all right, that's fine. Last 13 games, I'll add to it. He's 9-1 against everyone else, and 0-3.
Now a quarterback wins,
and
Dusty.
0-3 against the Chiefs. The Jags ran into a buzzsaw that is the Chiefs' defense.
Buzzsaw?
Yeah.
They scored 17 points.
A buzzsaw that is the Chiefs' defense. Again, this is a defensive team right now, and that's just fine. And so, if you're asking me, am I shaken by the fact that the Jags can't do what they've never been able to do, which is beat the Chiefs? Of course not. That's why I have the Jags going to the AFC title game, but losing to the Chiefs. And this game, for the other reason, Brew, now the Arrowhead Invitational stays at Arrowhead. If the Jags had won that game, they'd have a tiebreaker, be up 2 in the standings plus tiebreaker. But yeah, I'm not concerned about Trevor Lawrence.
Look, I'm not as high on Trevor as you. I didn't call him the Prince. He looked more like a pauper. Actually, not just yesterday, but this season so far.
He was good in week 1.
Was he?
They scored 31 points. He had 2 touchdowns. He had 300 yards.
He was all right.
250
He
yards.
was okay. It was the Colts. C.J. Stroud looked pretty decent against them, too.
Yeah.
Okay, it was the Indianapolis Colts. Dusty, let me see the graphic.
Go ahead, Dusty.
What's the graphic?
This is how your boy Trevor's doing so far. 23rd in completion percentage, 15th in yards per game, 25th in yards per attempt, 22nd in passer rating. Those numbers are not befitting somebody who is 3rd on Mahomes Mountain. And there better be some changes tomorrow. I don't expect Mahomes to fall off because, the bias. But still, Trevor, come on. He's going to have to drop. And look, Nick, and I get it. I'm with you on the Chiefs' defense being strong. But if Trevor plays better, they could have won that game.
Yeah.
They started 2 drives in Chiefs territory because of some of the turnovers I mentioned earlier. Settled for 1 field goal.
Bruce,
Once he fumbled, they had a field goal. They had a 1st and goal from the 1.
Yeah.
The 1.
Made a great
and
play.
he couldn't, what he was in the red zone?
What?
0 for 7.
He wasn't good.
0 for
It's all
7.
true,
Okay,
but
so he had a bad. Trevor, I still believe in him. Not like you, but I do believe he's a good quarterback. But he has not been playing well, and that division is surprisingly a little bit
the Jags
tougher
are gonna be fine
than we
there.
thought.
Can I just
Tennessee
ask you a
playing
quick
well.
question?
Indy's surprisingly playing well.
Do you think if he makes it to the league, do you think Bronny is going to play great in his first few games against LeBron? Of course
now
not.
we're at
It's
this
tough
part of
for
the show.
princes against the king.
Okay.
It's tough. There's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of family stuff. It's very difficult.
Most throws without a completion in the red zone since 2006 for the Prince. 0 for 7. Not great.
tough.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Wasn't a great game.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Gentlemen, thank you.
This is the Cowboys' year.
Is it time for you to admit it?
Yeah.
No, it's not time for me to admit.
What more could they show you?
They could show me a lot more. Now look, they look great.
Up to this point?
No, I'm at 2-0.
Well,
I feel good about my pick.
We don't have a time
Philadelphia's 2-0 against better opponents. All right, and San Francisco's 2-0, and I think plays better opponents as well. Look, Dallas looks tremendous. The defense spectacular. Might be the best in the league. You know who definitely is the best in the league? Micah Parsons, best defensive player in the league. In fact, honestly, it's ridiculously early. Right now, he's MVP. To me, he would be the MVP.
Is Tua close?
Tua's close,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'd say, honestly, I go with Micah. I mean,
won.
Tua, if they want to pick a quarterback, they probably pick Tua.
Micah won Tua,
but I think it could be Micah. So he's playing great, and the offense has had a great balance. Mike McCarthy, give him some credit.
Yeah.
74 rushes, 63 passes. The balance, and they got Dak doing what Dak should do, which is best for the offense, managing the game. So they look great. But all I have to say is they've played the Giants, who needed heroics from Daniel Dimes yesterday, who it took every ounce of talent and coaching ability they had just to squeak by what we think might be the worst team in football.
That's right.
They made Josh Dobbs look like Josh Allen yesterday.
But how did the Giants? How did they do against the Giants?
Oh, they pounded them. But I'm just saying, it's still the Giants. A lot of people are going to pound the. It was great.
40-0.
Still, it was the Giants.
Okay.
And then the Jets, who might have now the worst quarterback starting in the NFL.
Their Jets
so
defense?
all I'm saying, the Dallas looks great.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just got Philly. That's my pick in the NFC.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel good about it.
Okay.
Taking nothing away from how the Cowboys are playing. But all I'm saying is slow down. Okay. I'm not ready to
I don't think Philly does anything
by
better
far
than
the
Dallas.
best team. They got better receivers.
I don't think they do anything better than Dallas. You know what? They're obviously a quarterback-driven run game is better than Dallas, but that's a stylistic choice. Dallas's defense is demonstrably, clearly in a different tier than Philly. Dallas right now is a team that does not have an obvious weakness. Philly does. Philly's weakness is its downfield passing game defensively. I said that awkwardly, but it's pass defense, particularly on downfield passes. I believe the Niners have a discernible weakness in who their quarterback is. We don't have to argue about it right now.
No,
we don't have to argue about it right now, but everyone at the table agrees Dak's better than Purdy. And if we are...
I think it's close, though, honestly. What do I have to fault Brock Purdy on? That he was Mr. Irrelevant?
No. You don't have to fault him. That's fine. But on the Cowboys... What was everyone's biggest question with them going into the year? Will their quarterback stop turning the ball over? Well, through 2 games against one excellent defense in the Jets.
Are we sure? Are we 100% sure?
Definitely a good.
Hold on. We're not all of a sudden going to say the Jets' defense stinks.
Well, this gave up 30 points.
But hold on.
They were in the red zone 6 times. They scored 2 touchdowns.
It's like, well, Sauce wasn't on CeeDee Lamb. Like, we'll put him on.
Dak was good.
Guys, we got to be fair. Dak has 0 fumbles, 0 picks. They've outscored opponents 7%.
Should have had one for a pick.
The Jets are great, and they played one good game. They were okay. They were a good defense last year. They just gave up 30 points. I'm allowed to say I wonder how good the Jets defense is going to be.
Fine. Do you think more likely than not the Jets have a at least good defense?
I think they're pretty good.
Okay.
Not sure.
So then I don't even know what we're arguing about. My point is the Cowboys had one concern coming into the year. Is Dak going to turn the ball over? He's 0 picks, 0 fumbles. They have outscored their opponents by 60 points through 2 weeks, and they are going to be battle-tested. I think the fact that they have a really tough schedule bodes well for them come the postseason, because they still have to go to San Francisco, Buffalo, and Miami, and Philly. They obviously also get Philly at home. Right. I think that's good for them. I think right now the Cowboys have the strongest argument of any team in the NFC that they are the clear favorites.
How about this with San Francisco? Let's say quarterback. If you want to give Dak a slight edge, I'd say at this point, honestly, wash.
Okay,
right
I disagree with that.
Okay, but that's fine. Better skill positions, better receivers. You go in San Francisco. Yes. I think the defenses are close, but Micah is the best defensive player, even though better than
Nicky
Bosa at this point.
Yeah.
Right. I think the linebackers, like for San Francisco, are better. I think the defenses are pretty close as well. And then the running game, Dallas has a good one. McCaffrey's
might be the best in the league.
Right.
That's fair.
So I think if Brock and Dak are a wash, then I think San Francisco's got the edge.
And San Francisco has the mental edge of having beaten them back-to-back years in the playoffs.
Which would be tough to do that 3 years in a row.
I don't think Dak and Brock are a wash at all. I think Dak is continuing to make a case. He's one of the clear 8 best quarterbacks in football, and I don't think Brock is in that tier at all.
I think you're right, even though Brock Purdy is yet to lose. On the other side, he literally has lost. On the other side of the ball, one time he needed surgery. The Jets are unraveling. First, we got Breece Hall complained to the press about only getting the ball 4 times, tweeted this, 4 footballs. We get it. Then Sauce fired back on someone who inaccurately said CeeDee Lamb lit him up. He's like, nope, he didn't light me up, he lit my friends up, basically. Then he deleted his Twitter/X account. Also, Zach Wilson, he's back to his old tricks. Threw 3 interceptions. Here's Zach. Got the Patriots next.
Yeah.
So what's the Jets' biggest problem now?
That guy?
Come on, because he's so
everyone listen.
cherub-like.
It's so weird. Like, I read this article in The Athletic today that explained how, yes, he was 12 of 27, and yes, he threw 3 picks, but the Jets have a lot of problems, and he wasn't one of them. He was the biggest problem. And people don't want to be mean because we all recognize what's true. He's not an NFL caliber player. He's being asked to play in NFL football games. That would be a rough spot. It's like, hey, you are totally unqualified for this. We're going to keep throwing you out there. At this point, you feel badly for the guy. I do. But the reality is you cannot compete at a consistent level with him as your quarterback. Impossible. Not going to happen. And the Jets' biggest mistake is, once again, what's going to be indecision at the quarterback spot. They jerked around with it last year, and this year, Wildes, they're like, yep, he's our guy, he's our guy. If they don't have another quarterback in the building by Wednesday, they're punting on the season.
Even on Wednesday, they're pretty much done. You're going to show up on Wednesday and beat the Patriots?
Because you just got to, but the earlier they get in, the earlier they can play eventually. As long as they wait, you're going to have to then wait another 10 days till that guy can probably play. You got to bring someone in. The guy, I'm sorry, Zach, he can't play.
I don't disagree with what you said. I will just point this out. Nat Hackett does have to prove that he can run a successful offense with someone other than Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. I mean, that game plan yesterday, it had no answer for Parsons. I don't know who does, but how about doubling teaming him a few times? You know? I mean, maybe you do that. How about running the ball? With that defense and the run game, how about trying to run the ball a little bit more? Breece Hall, 4 touches. I get why he's upset. So I think everything you said about Zach is true, but I don't think they put him in a good situation yesterday. Now, with Zach, I mean, you guys know what I'm thinking. I think they need to try to get Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is the one that seems his contract's up after this year. If the Vikings continue to play,
if they lose their next game, which I can't remember who but it's possible. I can't remember
they're playing the Chargers.
Okay, so if they if they start 0-3, why would you keep?
I think Kirk's an interesting idea, bro. I think it's more realistic than Stafford. I think it's an interesting idea. Go ahead, Wildes.
I think it's leadership. I think they got high on their own supply this entire summer. We heard the Super Bowl, and if you want to listen to all the expectations that they loved, once you start hearing the insults, you start to freak out. The fact that Breece Hall said he tweeted that, who is that to? The press? His own coaching staff? The fans? Who is that for football tweet emoji to? I think it's to his coaching staff. So now you're like, the coaching is not on the same page with your running back. Sauce is deleting stuff because he basically threw his other teammates under the bus. The whole thing is a mess.
But let's say they handled everything perfectly from the time they signed Aaron Rodgers, and he still gets hurt. Are they in any better shape just because they were polite and didn't
they'd be like, you know
what?
Tough loss against this Dallas team. We're getting ready for New England.
Patriots
just lost, and there's none of that. No, people aren't deleting their Twitter accounts and taking shots at the coaching staff.
Wildes, you know I'm not high on Saleh, but here's, I guess, the point that I would make. There is not a single coach in the league you could install there, and they win with Zach Wilson. There are plenty of quarterbacks you could install there, and they could win with Robert Saleh. I'm not saying you're wrong about a lot of it, but right now they have a issue that is just a disaster from the word go at the quarterback position. Once that gets mitigated, then I think we can get in the weeds on everything else. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.